Chapter 2: Evolution of Management. Objectives of the session are: you will come to know about how management evolved, evolution of the management theory, the various approaches to management, and the various contributors to the theory of management. Evolution of management. Often we hear about Industrial Revolution. Management has its root in the Industrial Revolution that hit Great Britain during 1700th century. What happened there was a large number of landowners purchased land from farmers, implemented various technological methods of cultivation, improved and increased the cultivation output. Slowly, gradually, this industrialization process hit the textile industry as well. Industrialization occurred in the textile industries also. In fact, Britain is supposed to be the first economy based on industry. Yes, all this was helping the economy to grow, to bloom. The GDP was growing, national income was growing. But on the contrary, the working conditions were becoming worse. The workers had to work for 14 hours a day and 6 days a week. They had to work in factories. The factories were dark. The machines were heavy. It led to accidents, even at times fatal accidents. This all led to riots among the workers. The workers revolted against the bad conditions in which they were supposed to work. They were made to work. With this chaos came in introduction to various methods. It was then when it was realized that if we have to improve or if we have to implement industrialization in any economy, there has to be a particular system to it. It is since then when we have the various methods, technologies, thought processes in mind and executed, and so we have the management system as of today what it is. It has its inception since that time. Let's explore more about the evolution of management. The principal contributors of that era, there were 5 main contributors as Robert Owen, Charles Babbage, Andrew Earle, Charles Dupin, and Henry Robinson Tone. In the next slide, we see the contributions made by these contributors. Robert Owen emphasized on various legislative reforms. When I say legislative reforms, I talk about the rules and regulations giving rights to the employees. Charles Babbage propagated division of labor which leads to specialization, discussed in the previous chapter as well. Andrew Earle, he explained various principles and practices of management. Charles Dupin advocated the study of management, and it was Henry R. Tone to whom goes the credit of making management a separate subject to study as of today. We see in this picture over here how management theories have grown. We see the lowest arrow showing scientific management, which grew up to administrative management, further to behavioral management, management sciences, and organizational environment. Scientific management, when it was scientific management as a theory for management, we were talking about the processes, how to improve on the processes. Moving on to administrative management, we spoke about the system, the rules, the management of or to say the administration of an organization. So impetus of the focus moved from processes to management or administration. Behavioral management theory would basically deal about the employees. From here, in this theory, the focus moves from the management or the system to the employees working. They say whatever may be the environment or the system, if the employees are happy and satisfied, the system is going to be successful. We have management science as a subject then, and organizational environment. In organizational environment, as of today, what it is, we talk about the internal and the external environment in which any unit exists, and then how management affects it. Let's take each one by one. The early approaches to management. The classical economists have laid down 3 schools for management. As I just said, scientific management, administrative management, and bureaucratic management. Scientific management. The concept of scientific management was evolved by F.W. Taylor, who is also known as the father of scientific management. He developed various principles of scientific management, which we study in the coming slide. These principles are basically focusing on the way the work is to be done. Replacing the rule of thumb with science. When I say replacing the rule of thumb with science, he emphasized replacing approximation theory to precision theory. He said rather than taking approximates, we should talk about precise, specific instructions to be given to the employees. Harmony in group actions can be brought about by having various systems of communication in place. Cooperation, which ultimately comes as a result of harmony amongst the group. Maximum output. It was here when the piece wage rate system was introduced. The piece wage rate system says that employees should be paid according to the number of units produced by them, which led to increase in output, and then development of workers by providing them required training for the work to be done by them. So all these principles were basically focusing about how to get the work done. Focus was on work and the working methodology. The elements and tools used in scientific management were separation of planning and doing. Separation of planning and doing means having two people, one to plan, the other to execute. So F.W. Taylor said that there should be supervisors or senior level managers to make plans, and there should be ground level workers to execute those plans. These two works should be done separately by two different people. Functional foremanship. We studied about various functions in an organization, saying marketing, finance, human resource, having those functions. So within the category of the supervisors and the ground level workers, he introduced the concept of division of labor and having various functions. So each function, there should be a supervisor and there should be the doer of that work. Job analysis, having a detailed analysis of the job which the person is supposed to do in order to avoid any ambiguity in the minds of the employees. Standardization. Standardization was emphasized in order to provide uniformity, to bring in uniformity amongst the working conditions, the work done by the people, the kind of people, and the output produced. Scientific selection and training. It emphasized on removal of arbid methods of selection and focusing the selection on the basis of experience, education, technical and professional work experience in hand. And financial incentives spoke about giving piece rate wage basis, so paying the employees according to the number of units produced by him. He intended that this would motivate the workers to produce more, and in turn the subordination of individual interest with the main goal of company of increasing sales would happen. Criticism towards his theory is basically that he focuses only on ground level workers. He does not talk about the planning methods. He talks about the workers and how they could be made to work. And he also ignores the external environment which would affect the company and the functioning of an organization.